Hello and welcome to Alteryx Designer Cloud series. So this episode is around solving the quest one from the Alteryx community. So if you go to the community, learn, academy, challenges and quests, and you go then to Cloud Quests, and then you go to quest one for our case, you'll see you have like a tiny challenge you can do on Alteryx Cloud Designer. It's a great way to exercise, great way to get better at using it and even encounter problems you may not have encountered yet or you will face later on. So for this first quest, I do have coming from a blank workflow and we'll build it together. So first step is connecting to our dataset. So I just plug an input data and I'm going to upload the file. So it's in my downloads here, and I see if I can get some tricks around there. So in this case, it's a CSV file, which is not really clean, really neat. And what I will do is just connect it and do not touch this configuration since it's working quite okay from what I want. And I am going to press create dataset to have my dataset loaded. So here it is, or it's coming in a second. And this done, I can directly start to explore my data and see what I can do. So I do have a poem here, I do have this poem ID, and I have a date, and I want to have like 3 columns, of course, one for each value, and remove this double quote, single quote, everything, transform this to a proper date. So let's do this. So the first thing would be to split this into 3 columns. I can either use this suggested transformation, so I just select the comma here and split into here it will be 3 columns, so it did not recognize there are 3 columns, but that's okay. I can just edit and it will add the tool to my canvas. And then what I can do is I want to remove those quotes so my data is clean and neat. To do it, I can either use formulas, but because I want to be a bit smarter and go a bit faster, and imagine I have a lot more columns, what I will do is use a multi-column formula. So for my multi-column formula on the configuration, I am going to use string fields, and only on the new one, so new column 1, 2, 3, no dynamic column since it's not supposed to add any more columns. And what I will do also is override the existing columns. I don't want to create new ones since I won't use them. So if I want to do this step, it will be to replace my data. So what I want to do is replace replace in my current column, I want to replace the double quote. So this is kind of disturbing. So here, double quote by nothing, basically. So what it will do is replace my double quote. And because I want to do the operation for 2 different characters, I will do a replace on my replace. So here, setting it to replace this time the single quote by nothing. And by doing this, I've been replacing all those quotes everywhere. So next step is to transform this to a proper date. So to do it, you could do it the proper way would be use either the datetime tool or the formulas and use datetime parse, but since my browser is in French, I won't be able to do this way. So I had to think a bit about it, and what I will do will be use a find replace to replace all the months by their numeric value so that I can then pass it to a proper date. So I will only do it for the 2 months I do have. So here it will be June for 06 and that's for December and month 12. And this done, if I go and see, won't have modified anything since I'm not looking at the good columns. So I want to do it in new column 3. And here I have my date properly passed. So what I will do now is transform this to a date. So to do it, I am going to use a formula since I quite use this most of the time. So I am just going to modify the column here and tell Alteryx that I want to do a date time pass. My column would be here. I just open a bracket to have all the columns suggested. So new column 3, and I know that my format is %day, D for day, would be this char percentage month, and then percentage y, so that I do have like a proper date. So this done, my date is more likely looking like a date, but I still need to have my column name sorted, good types on my data. So to do this, I'm going to finish my workflow by using a select tool, and I can uncheck this column 1, which is the original one, and I don't need it anymore, and rename my columns. So this will be poem, this will be poem ID, and I wanted to set it to be an integer, and then poem read date to finish here and transform it into a date. And since the format is good, it will directly transform to a date. So thank you for, this was challenge 1. Thank you for listening. Thank you for viewing it. Do not hesitate if you have any remarks, any tips that you used to share with everyone. Have a great day.